Bahasa Malaysia, you say selamat pagi.
Sawadee.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi.
You know, sometimes you just want to give thanks to the Lord.
ဘုရားတခါလေဘုရားသခင်ကိုအားလုံးကျေးဇူးတင်ခြင်း
And I want to give thanks to the Lord for my family.
ကျွန်တော်မိသားစုအတွက်ဘုရားသခင်ကိုကျေးဇူးတင်ခြင်း
Some of you haven't seen my family, but this is my family.
ဒါကျွန်တော်မိသားစုဖြစ်ပါတယ်
Now, my father's here also. He's in my family. I just didn't have a picture of my father.
ကျွန်တော်အဖေကျွန်တော်ရဲ့သူရှိပါတယ်ဒါကျွန်တော်ရဲ့မိသားစုဖြစ်ပါတယ်
And I'm very thankful of my father and my mother and the heritage that they gave me as a Christian.
အဖေနဲ့အမေကိုကျွန်တော်ကျေးဇူးတင်တယ်ဘာဖြစ်လို့လဲဆိုတော့ခရစ်ယာန်အဖြစ်နဲ့အမွေခံစေလို့
But let me tell you a little bit about my children.
တာသမီးတွေအတွက်အကြောင်းလေးနဲ့ပြောချင်တယ်
And why I'm thankful. My children are most of them are grown and married.
ဘာဖြစ်လို့ဒီကလေးတွေအတွက်ကျေးဇူးတရားကိုကျေးဇူးချီးမွမ်းချင်တယ်လဲဆိုတော့ကလေးတွေအားလုံးကြည့်ပြီးတော့
So at the very top on the left, the tall man with the blue shirt, that's my son. My eldest son.
အရှိဆုံးအင်ဂျီအပြာနဲ့အဲ့ဒါအကြီးဆုံးသားဖြစ်တယ်
His name is Seth, and on the left of him is his wife. Her name is Lacey.
သူ့နာမည်ဆက်လို့ခေါ်တယ်အမျိုးသမီးနာမည်လေးစီခေါ်တယ်
And then on the very far right, that's my daughter.
ညာဘက်အဆုံးကတော့သမီးဖြစ်တယ်
She's wearing the black.
သူကတော့အမဲဝတ်ထားတယ်
And beside her is her husband.
ဘေးကဥစ္စာတော့သူ့ယောက်ျားဖြစ်တယ်
Now you see in front of them, they have a little baby. What is the thing called? Stroller. Yeah.
သူအဲ့ဒီတွန်းလဲထဲမှာတော့ကလေးကို
And so on the very far left, that's their little girl. Her name is Ava.
အဲ့ဒီညာဘက်အဆုံးဟောဘေးဘက်အဆုံးကသမီးကတော့သူတို့အကြီးဆုံးသမီးပေါ့နော်
And almost every Friday afternoon, I get to take care of Ava.
အဲ့ဒီ Friday afternoon.
Yeah, almost every Friday.
တောက်ကြနေ့ညနေတိုင်းမှာအဲ့ဒီမြေးလေးကိုထိန်းရတယ်
So she loves to come sit beside Pawpaw.
အဖိုးနားမှာအဖိုးဘေးနားမှာအမြဲတမ်းလာထိုင်တယ်
We also have another son. He's 23, and he's single, and he's on the very far bottom on the left.
ဒီဘက်ဘက်အဆုံးကဒီတာငယ်ဆုံးဖြစ်တယ်23နှစ်ရှိပါပြီ
Now we feel very blessed, and we thank God that we all live in Frisco or Plano area, so we get to see each other.
အမြဲတမ်းမိသားစုတွေ့နေရပါတယ်တစည်းတစ်လုံးနဲ့ရှိနေလို့ဖခင်ကိုကျေးဇူးတင်တယ်
We never imagined that God would give us this opportunity to be this close to each other.
ဒီလောက်နီးကအောင်နေဖို့ဖခင်ကကျွန်တော်တို့ကိုအဲ့လိုပြင်ဆင်လိမ့်မယ်လို့ဘယ်တော့မှမမျှော်လင့်ပါဘူး
Because many of you know we were in Asia 25 years.
အာရှမှာ25နှစ်နေခဲ့တယ်
And my daughter, when she turned 18, she came back to the U.S. to go to university.
သမီးကြီးက16နှစ်ပြည့်တဲ့အခါမှာဒီမှာတက်ကလို့တက်ဖို့အမေရိကကိုပြန်လာရတယ်
So we said goodbye to her.
သူကိုတတ်တာလောက်တာ
And we cried.
ငိုရတယ်
And then it was time for our eldest son to go to university. So he goes to New York City to go to university.
တာကြီးကလည်းတက်လို့တက်ရမယ်ဆိုတော့ဒီ New York မြို့ကိုသွားရတယ်
And so there for about 5 or 7 years, we were actually living, our family, just this family, we were living in 5 different countries.
9နှစ်နဲ့9နှစ်ကြားထဲမှာပေါ့နော်ဒီနိုင်ငံ9နိုင်ငံတခြားစီနေရတာဒီမိသားစု
So we didn't get to see each other very often.
ခဏမတွေ့ရဘူးနော်
But in the last year, God has given us the opportunity to be real close to each other.
မနေ့ကနေစပြီးမှဘုရားခင်ကကျွန်တော်တို့အထူးအခွင့်အရေးပေးလိုက်တယ်အဲ့ဒီအနီးနားမှာပဲနေရတယ်အားလုံးမိသားစု
And I'm very thankful to God for that.
အဲ့ဒီတော့ဘုရားခင်ကအထူးပဲကျေးဇူးတင်တယ်
Go to the next slide. Do you know where this is?
This is a missionary
Anybody know where this is?
ဒါဘယ်သူလဲသိလား
Yeah.
သိပါတယ် No yes
Where?
right there
Right there. Yeah, this is in the country of Burma.
ဒါဗမာပြည်ဖြစ်တယ်
And you know, I go to Burma quite often.
တောင်ပေါ်ခဏတက်ပါတယ်
And on one trip, I had been hiking or walking 5 days.
ဒီဒီနေ့ကျတော့9ရက်ခီးတောင်ပေါ်တက်ရတဲ့ခီးသွားပါတယ်
Now you see another person behind me. He's also in Bahasa it's called Orang Kute, a white person. He's also a white person.
သူပြောတဲ့ဘာဟာစာစကားပြောလာပါလားမသိပါဘူးအဲ့တယောက်လည်းလူဖြူတော့လူဖြူပဲ
So after 5 days of walking in the mountains and sleeping in any place I could find, I was very tired.
တောင်ပေါ်မှာ9ရက်ခီးသွားတဲ့အခါမှာဘယ်မှာပဲတွေ့တွေ့ထိုးအိတ်တယ်အရန်နဲ့မောတယ်
Because as you see, this was just a couple of years ago and I was already an old person.
လူခဲ့တဲ့နှစ်အနေငယ်တည်းမှာကျွန်တော်ကလူအိုကြီးဖြစ်နေပါပြီ
So when I was 30 or 35, I could walk in the mountains, I could do lots of stuff, but now after 5 days of walking in the mountains, it's very, very hard.
35နှစ်အဝက်မှာတော့ဘာမှမဖြစ်ပါဘူးပေါ့နော်တောင်ပေါ်မှာဘယ်တော့ပဲတက်တက်ဘာမှမဖြစ်ဘူးတဲ့အခုချိန်မှာတော့မရတော့
And I get very tired.
အရန်မောတယ်
And I go to the next slide. Now, one thing that was nice is we could stop at these places like this and get all the kinds of fruit we wanted.
ဒီမှာတော့တကယ်ကိုရပ်ပြီးတော့နော်ဝယ်ချမ်းရမယ့်နေရာပေါ့နော်ဆိုတော့ကောင်းတဲ့နေရာ
And I love all the fruit and the vegetables that are in Burma.
အဲ့ဒီမှာဒီမှာရှိတဲ့ဒီအတိအနံတွေအားလုံးကိုကျွန်တော်ကြိုက်ပါတယ်
Go to the next slide. And we would get to meet all kinds of people. Does anybody know what ethnic group this is in your country?
ဘယ်လူမျိုးကလဲတဲ့လူမျိုးပေါင်းစုံနဲ့တွေ့ခဲ့ရတယ်ပေါ့ဒါဘယ်လူမျိုးဖွဲ့ရလဲအိုးစုရလဲ
Yeah, it's Palang.
ဟုတ်လား
It's silver Palang, in fact. Sure.
ရွှေဘလောင်းနော် golden ဘလောင်း
And we get to meet people like this, but also I got to see a lot of things that were the pagodas. Go to the next slide. We get to see villages like this, and I remember one time we were on top of a mountain. This is the same trip. We're on top of the mountain, and we're looking down at a village. And we walk on down to that village, and then we have to go over another mountain. Now go to the next slide. And we're on top of the mountain, and we see this pagoda down here. And we're trying to go this direction over here, but the mountain's really big. So the young man that was with me said if we'll go down to the bottom of the mountain and we get down to where this pagoda is, there's a cave, and we can walk through the cave, and then we won't have to walk over the mountain. So we start walking down the mountain, and you remember the white guy that was behind me. He falls, and he rows down the mountain, and he actually breaks his knee right here. Then we get down to the bottom of the mountain where the cave is. Go to the next slide. Now, how many days have I been walking in the mountains? 5 days. My colleague had broke his knee. And we get to the cave, and it looks like this. There's thousands of Buddhas in the cave. And we have to walk through the cave with Buddhas everywhere. And on the floor, it's actually a stream of water. And so we're walking in the water. And as we get in the cave, I don't know what you call it, the things that stick down. You see the things that stick down in caves? It's called stalactite. Well, after we get in the cave about halfway,